Yeah, I think overall, just with the operation of the offense, I thought CJ was more efficient. He felt more comfortable, and I think just everyone around him played better, which allowed him to play better. So I'm proud of the progression that CJ took this week. I mean, that's what we want to see, right? You want to see improvement week to week, and that's what we saw this week. So I'm proud of what CJ did.
DeMeco, Will Anderson Jr., what did you see from him on the play where he had a strip sack and that sort of question about the run defense?
Yeah, Will, I thought he did a really good job of disrupting, right? Playing on their side of the line of scrimmage. That's what we want from our defensive end. So it was good to see Will actually show that, and that's what we know Will can do. But it was fun to see him, make a play. It's fun to see the energy after he made a play. And Will has shown, just as CJ, both guys have shown to get better each and every week, and proud of where they are.
Without having seen the film, what do you think were some of the issues with the run defense? Pursuit angles, tackling, what were some of the issues that you saw there?
Yeah, with the run defense overall, it's not representative of who we need to be on defense, right? And it all starts with the fundamentals first. First, we have to set the edge. The ball got outside way too many times, and it comes down to tackling. The tackling was not good enough, and if we want to be a good defense, right, we have to tackle. And that showed up tonight that it wasn't good enough, and that starts with me of getting that corrected.
You mentioned that CJ shows consistently how to get better week by week. How much did today exemplify that statement that you've been giving out throughout camp and even today?
Yeah, it shows exactly what we're looking for out of everyone. It was good for CJ to do it. Now we need everyone else around him to continue to play better. When it comes to how we run the football, it wasn't good enough. We have to run the ball better. All right. When it comes to catching the football, we have to catch the ball better. And it's overall, right, everybody has to, as I asked the guys, they're 1% to improve upon, and that's where we have to, continue to get better.
DeMeco, where do you think the struggles came from with this defense, particularly today?
I think overall as a team where we struggled is situational football. So if you want to win games, right, defensively you have to get off the field on third down. We didn't. Offensively, you got to convert on third down. We didn't. When you do that, you stall out drives. Offense can't continue to, make plays, and that hurts us, right? And then we also go to the situation of the red zone. They get into the red zone, they convert every time. We're in the red zone and we don't convert. So it always comes back to situational football. If you don't own those situations, you're going to lose football games.
DeMeco, could you talk about specifically Stroud was throwing to the sideline and over the middle, and a couple of more could have been caught by the receivers. Talk about specifically about his throws and what you saw from him.
What I saw from CJ's throws was the ball was coming out on time. It was very accurate, or where the ball placement was very good. So it's encouraging, right, to see him from week one to this week, right, to see the improvement just overall, seeing him just more comfortable and I saw him having fun, right, playing the game, seeing him also be able to scramble out of the pocket and make a play. It's fun when you can see guys actually enjoying football, having fun doing it, and he continues to grow. We're going to be just fine.
Hey, DeMeco, can you talk about the offensive line, what you saw this week in terms of progression, and in particular what you've seen from Kenyon?
Yeah, overall, I think everyone could see their offensive line. They protected much better this week, and that was good to see. That's what we need from our O-line. Challenge them, right? Last night's meeting, challenge them this, before the game, like making sure that we, have protection, have the quarterback have a good pocket to throw in, and that's what they did today. So proud of what they did, and overall that group is continuing to grow. We got young players in there with Kenyon and Juice. Those guys are continuing to get better. So it takes reps. So it's good to see these guys get these, valuable reps in the preseason where they can go out, put good things on tape. If there's something bad, they can see where they need to improve and correct it. So I'm proud of the O-line.
DeMeco, during pre-warm-ups, you were seeing Tank on the field in uniform, and then you were seen on the sidelines in street clothes. Was there a reason why he didn't play other than just keeping him out for concern, or because something happened for you?
Yeah, with Tank, he felt a little tightness there, but Tank will be fine. Thought it wasn't, smart to put him out there in this preseason game, but Tank will be fine.
Well, DeMeco obviously didn't want the results you had today, but how much of this score was a much better Dolphins team than what you faced last week in New England, as opposed to maybe slipping back a little bit this week?
No, I think the Dolphins have a really good team. They're coached well. They did a really good job of running the football. And, credit to Mike and his staff and overall the players, they did a good job.
Hey, hey, Coach, you said you were proud of the progression that CJ has made, especially today, and curious, has that progression moved enough where we're a couple of weeks out where you're ready to name him the starter?
We'll have a starter in Baltimore. It's the same as I said previously. You guys will see the starter when we get to Baltimore.
Two more guys. Sorry.
Coach, you talked about a lot of how the team played today. How would you evaluate yourself as far as coaching went today?
Yeah, it all starts with me. When you put a performance out there like that, it starts with me, and it wasn't good enough. So that's me internally. I wasn't good enough today for our team. And so with that, I go back to the drawing board and look for myself to improve and get better, to make sure I lead this team that we put out a much better outing, especially in front of our home crowd. Right, it's not representative of what I want for the Texans, and we'll get it corrected.
Coach, for me, think about the Oakland series. Denzel Perryman gets the interception. Harking back a week ago, he gets the sack. Just how critical linebacker, what does that mean to your defense and one of those leaders of your team? Are you comfortable there? Or do we need other guys other guys to follow Perryman's demonstration moving forward?
Yeah, Denzel, he's shown that multiple times throughout his career that he's an instinctive football player. It's one reason why I wanted to add him to our team. Instinctive football player can make plays all over the field, plays with a high level of intensity, and everyone around him needs to pick it up and play with the same intensity.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
where did you notice some positives that you felt like you developed from last week to this week?
Yeah, first and foremost, just want to give all glory and praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Have another opportunity to come out and play football in a game I love. But feel like I took a step. Definitely got to clean up some things, but overall, I feel like I got in a good rhythm, and I started playing football like I'm used to. So felt good. Great protection up front. Ran the ball pretty decently. Just off a few things here and there. So just got to clean those up, man. But it's a blessing that we're able to get it done now in preseason, so we can take that next step going into joint practice with New Orleans.
CJ, Bobby Slowick said last week in that first game, one of the things that was impressive that there wasn't any penalties, a lot of emotions in this offense. Today, where do you feel those things were different, managing that in this game?
Yeah, I think it starts at practice. Gotta just be better in the huddle. Personally, gotta get guys lined up and just be more aware of what's going on. But other than that, I think the negatives are always flashed upon. But I feel like we did a lot of positive things. Got up to the ball when it was time to get up on the ball and snapped it and got off the ball really well. So it's both sides. Just the negatives shine a little brighter. So we got to fix that because those are drive killers. And those little negative plays, if we can eliminate those, and I feel like we have a really good day as the Houston Texans, but we didn't. So, it wasn't the result we wanted.
CJ, Bobby's talked about sometimes how you need to make the right throw over the proper throw just for the short to reset the play clock. Do you feel like on the second down throw you made it Dalton Schultz to where you were kind of able to get back to the line a little bit quicker? That's just more knowledge of the offense to understand what Bobby's looking for.
Yeah, I think I'm taking steps every week. I'm starting to see the game starting to slow down for me, and just seeing things a lot more clean. And situations like that, I just the quicker I can get up there and diagnose the coverage and the blitz look or whatever it is, the more dynamic his offense will be. And once you put pressure on defenses, that's when you put them in a rock and a hard place and just keep that pressure on them. And that's for us. That's what we want to be. We want to be a high explosive offense. We want to make plays. So I think we're taking those steps, but definitely going to keep growing and have to get a lot better.
CJ, what did you feel like, over the course of the joint practices and this particular game, you feel like you learned about yourself in that time?
That's a good question. I think I just learned that just me is okay. Just doing what God has blessed me with his talent and just putting the work in. And I think this week I had flashes, and I think I had made a lot of good plays. Still made some mistakes, but I think I made more plays than I made mistakes. And I think that's a step from New England and a step from the training camp from there, where things could have been elsewhere. So for me personally, I just want to keep growing. I have really good vets on the offensive side and defensive side of the ball that help me out a lot. So I think for me, just telling myself that just me is okay. Accept my nerves, accept my negative plays, or accept everything that comes with the game, because it's going to just entitle me to get better and better. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to.
CJ, what was the plan with Bobby or Gerard? Did they want to see from you in the first half, and how frustrating was it to get to the one and not score?
The plan was just for me to play. It wasn't anything that they said that was like a game plan or whatever. They just wanted me to play, go out there and try to diagnose the defense like we did in practice. And Miami is a great team. We got some really good looks from them, and I definitely think that we took steps as offense. And it's frustrating when you don't score on the one, but it was learning. I think any L that you take that you learn from it, then it's a real loss. But when you're down there, you got to score, got to take advantage. But it is what it is. Got to move on from it now and just learn from it. So not going to let it affect us and how we play football, but just learn from that and keep growing.
CJ, it had been a long time since you had played football, and last week you were limited in the play in New England. This week you got to play a very long time. At one point when you made those consecutive passes, were you starting to feel like you were playing football again? And the second question is, how good do you feel knowing that coach put that much confidence in you in that fourth down play on 4th and goal?
I definitely think when we started rolling as an offense, that it just felt good overall, from all the way from the O-line to the tight ends to the running backs to the receivers. I think everybody got to touch the ball on that drive, which was special. I think that's just, it shows what we can do, but we got to finish. We got to just finish. I think that was the main thing from what I had, and I thought was just we just didn't finish well. We didn't do well enough on third down. We had too many penalties, shooting ourselves in the foot, and too many blatant plays. But I think that drive just showed us that we can be explosive and we can move the ball down the field the way we want. And I definitely think that that was a step towards where we want to go. But just got to keep growing. And then it meant a lot. Definitely wish that it went better than that. But at the end of the day, I mean, you learn from it. Thank God it's preseason. You can learn from it. But I don't ever want to think like that. So personally, I don't think it's good enough for us as a team. So it's on me. I got to get guys lined up and get them set and snap the ball and try to execute as best I can. So.
The coach had mentioned how week to week you always improve. How much did today exemplify that statement that week to week you always improve?
Yeah, I definitely think it showed a little bit on the field. Definitely think that I got a good groove, I got a rhythm, and after that we started clicking, started getting some good completions and spreading the ball around the field. And I definitely think it's just a little light of what was going on in practice. I feel like I've definitely been making a lot of plays in practice and stepping up as a leader, just doing everything that I feel like being the quarterback for the Houston Texans calls for, the responsibility it pertains. So for me, man, it's just making everybody around me better, and I feel like that I'm taking steps every week. So I'm really excited for the future, man. And I actually appreciate the mistakes and the lessons learned because you don't really get them anywhere else. You got to learn, and you got to have scars. So for me, I mean, I thank God for them, even though they might not look good on TV or look good to other people or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, man, it's about what God's plan is for my life and this team. So I think those learning lessons are definitely valuable.
CJ, you repeated multiple times right now about lessons learned. You were very fortunate. I said it was a blessing that you get to go up against Belichick and that defense last week. Fangio for 2 practices and obviously the game today. Schematically, X's and O's wise, what have they thrown at you these last 2 weeks that you were like, okay, got it, moving forward, I'll be able to put that in the catalog?
Yeah, most def. It's a great point, great question. I definitely think that going against 2 great DCs and defensive-minded coaches that are that smart was very, very good for me because you pick up on tails, you pick up on alignments, you pick up on, okay, it's third down here, I might get this pressure, I can do this, you're just thinking about the play more than just reacting. And if you can meet that halfway with letting your natural talents meet with knowledge of the game, I definitely think that's when you can do a lot better. And I definitely I tried to do that this week. Those 2 practices definitely helped. Talking to a lot of vets that I know in the league, that's what the biggest difference of the league is just getting those reps, those learning reps, because everybody has that period where they make mistakes. And for me, coming from like a place where I came from, not making very mistakes, and the ones that you did made meant everything. So it's all feeling natural again for me, and I definitely think going against those 2 DCs definitely helped.
CJ, along those same lines, next week you'll be going up against another solid defensive coach with the New Orleans Saints. What are some of the things that you want to work on in order to improve heading into the regular season?
I think the main thing for me is just being consistent. Just consistent in everything, my approach, the way it spins on my hand, the way I call plays, and I definitely think that I have a lot of things I want to hit, but that's probably the main focus, is being consistent, because I definitely know that I can be a really good player in this league, and I think I've showed flashes of that, but it doesn't matter until you do things consistently. Everybody can do it one time. It's about the ones that separate are the ones who do it every day and every week and every game, every play, and even taking those mistakes and still trying to be better. So for me, it's just being consistent.
CJ, Miko said that he could tell you were having fun tonight. Did you have a different demeanor this week than you did last week? Or is it...
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely think I maybe put my too much. I don't want to say too much pressure, but I put a lot of pressure on myself to go out there and try to play perfect. And I was talking to my guy, Wallow, our linebacker. He was like, man, you can't put that pressure on yourself because it's not possible. Those guys get paid too. That's what happened. And at the end of the day, I appreciated my teammate saying that to me because I don't know he knows it, but it meant a lot because I put a lot of pressure on myself. And I think it's a good thing. I mean, I want to be perfect. I want to be as best I can be. But if it doesn't happen, man, it's all about the next play. And Coach Ryans always talks about that, about the next play, next drive. Like, it is what it is. And what are you going to do, soak on it and be mad? I could have been mad about the first drive, and I messed up 2 times and should have been better, should have been better there, better here. But I let it go. And I was like, man, you know, God, that was for a reason. Let me go out here and do as best I can these next couple drives. And I feel like I did that. So happy that I got a good groove, but definitely want to play better and definitely want to be better.
Thank you, CJ.
Thank you, guys. God bless.
Denzel will be in momentarily.
Hey, everybody.
Denzel, you made 2 big plays in each of the first 2 preseason games. When you're healthy, you capable of making those big plays every game. How frustrating was it that you weren't able to capitalize, and then know you didn't like watching them go 99 yards? Did that set the tone?
Well, the interception, you know, it was a momentum change at the beginning of the game. I mean, we got 3 points out of that. I mean, obviously, you know, we want to score, but the drive after that, yeah, that wasn't, you know, the most appealing. There's just a lot of things that, you know, we need to get back to the drawing board, go back and watch the film, and I mean, just come down to fundamentals. Not taking anything away from the Dolphins. You know, they, you know, make plays. That's what we're here for. But just come down to fundamentals and executing.
First, what did you see on that first interception?
Just play action, just going through like my keys. Just read play action. Kind of froze for a second, to be honest with you. And I was just reading the quarterback, kind of just got in the window, just had a feel for it.
And as you guys face starters for the first time in preseason, I mean, quarterback and all of that, working with you know, the coaching staff, what was that like on the sideline? I mean, functioning through what will likely be a game-day situation later on?
You know, just get to the sideline, make those adjustments. Like I said, man, just come down to execution, fundamentals at the end of the day. Hey, man, you know, it's just a Florida thing, man. You know, Florida thing. Came to work today.
As one of the leaders on the defense, it started out well, but did you like the intensity level of your guys the whole way through that first unit that was out there?
I mean, not just the first unit. You know, we will talk about the whole unit as a defense and as, you know, one of the leaders there. I felt like, you know, like I said, after that, you know, the turnover, whatnot, you know, they drove down the field that second drive, and feel like, you know, even coming into halftime, you know, like you said, that intensity, that energy, it wasn't the same that, you know, we carried all week. And like I said, I know myself, I gave up, you know, some things that drive. So it's just, like I said, just getting back down to the fundamentals and just executing.
Hey, Denzel, what did you see from the team's run defense today? Because it seemed like ever since the start of training camp, one of the things that Coach DeMeco Ryans has been talking about is stopping the run.
Yeah, I mean, we did get to the ball. We just got to, like, wrap up. We got to set the edge, and block protection was another thing. Like I said, just back down to fundamentals. Again, not taking away nothing from the Dolphins' offense. They capitalized from, you know, our mistakes today.
What do you think about Will's strip sack, and is he capable of doing that on a consistent basis?
I've said this before. Will comes to work every day angry. So, yeah, I can see him doing that every play, every day. And I thought it was an amazing play, to be honest with you. I was surprised he didn't get it. You got to teach him. You got to tackle the ball carrier, whoever's trying to go get the ball, and just let everybody else rally to it.
Denzel, he's still kind of learning a little bit, but it was interesting to see Henry go from playing the middle linebacker to the outside. Did you notice any areas where he looked very comfortable versus where maybe some of the stuff?
He just looked comfortable out there, period. I mean, Henry, he's just learning like himself, and whatever, you know, the coaches have for him to do, whatever challenge it is, like he's accepted, just put his head down and just get to work.
And then I asked you earlier in
I mean, honestly, when I catch an interception, man, I be laughing in my helmet. Like, a lot of people don't know that. Like, I be laughing because, number one, is like, I caught the ball. Like, I'm bound to drop the ball, to be honest with you. So when I catch an interception, I just start laughing. And at that point, like, I'm literally just playing like a game like a little kid. Like, everybody was telling me I should have hurdled to it. I'm like, honestly, I just seen him fall, and I seen my cleats the next 2 seconds. So, yeah.
And thinking about moving forward, right? We've got 2 recent games in the books, obviously 2 joint practices. You got to go down to New Orleans and handle your biz. But you're a vet now. You've been through this.
Yeah.
You asked DeMeco about your leadership, and they targeted you. You were a guy that they needed in the middle of that didn't see you smiling. You understand? So it's on you. This is my question, thinking about moving forward to get this defense where it needs to get to. What keeps you up at night? What aspects of 2 games in now do you think about with the personnel you practice with every day? What are those pinpoint elements you like, we got to elevate here or this is going to get ugly?
Well, I can say just making the team one-dimensional. We want to go back and, really look at stats. They were, 400, almost 200 on both sides, rushing and passing. So unless you, playing a real good Madden game, like, ain't no way, both teams going to, like, somebody's got to win. But the team that, is not executing, we just happen to be on that end of the day. And moving forward, like I said, it really just comes down to fundamentals and technique. So I'm pretty sure this week we just going to be it might just be day 1, training camp, to be honest with you. I mean, I know we're going to go have a joint practice, and that's the time to get better and grow. And like I said, just learn from this film and really bring our toolbox next week, because I'm pretty sure the Saints ain't letting off on us at all. So,
Appreciate that, though.
no problem. Thank you.